Hello everyone. In previous lecture we have started the discussion on the Otto cycle. We saw that Otto cycle consists of four processes. Two of them are reversible isentropic process and two of them are constant volume process. So we saw that process 1 to 2 is the reversible isentropic compression. Process 2 to 3 is constant volume heat addition. So we can put QS. Then process 3 to 4 is isentropic expansion and process 4 to 1 is constant volume heat rejection. R. We can see as the process 2 to 3 and process 4 to 1 are constant volume processes, so we are not getting any work in process 2 to 3 and process 4 to 1 because both are the constant volume process. So we have plotted the cycle on PV diagram. Now we will move forward to plot the same cycle on the TS diagram. So for that we know we have two TDS equations. One is TDS is equal to du plus P dV and the another one is TDS is equal to dH plus minus V dP. Okay, so if the volume is constant, then P dV will be 0. So the equation becomes TDS is equal to du, and we know, as we discussed, that for Otto cycle the working fluid is in air, and air we treat as an ideal gas. So for an ideal gas, du is equal to Cv dt. So from here we get dt over ds for constant volume is equal to T over Cv. Similarly here, if pressure is constant, V dP becomes 0. So TDS becomes dH, and for an ideal gas, dH is always Cp dt. So from here, dt over ds at constant pressure is equal to T over Cp. Let us consider this equation A and this equation B. So we know that Cp is always greater than Cv. We have discussed this in class lectures, that value of the Cp is always greater than Cv. The reason of this you all know. So from equation A and B we can conclude that dt over ds at constant volume will be greater than dt over ds at constant pressure. And what dt over ds is representing? It's the slope of a curve, constant volume lines on TS diagram. Similarly, dt over ds at constant pressure is the slope of the curve of constant pressure line in TS diagram. Okay, so now we will move forward to draw the Otto cycle on TS diagram. Okay. We can see that the slope is T upon Cv. So as the temperature will increase, the slope will increase. So the constant volume lines on TS diagram will be the curve with the increasing slope. Okay, so this is the PV diagram. Here process 1 to 2 is isentropic process, reversible isentropic. So and entropy is constant from process 1 to 2 because it's compression process, so temperature will increase from 1 to 2. So constant entropy will be the vertical lines and temperature will increase from 1 to 2. Okay, then 2 to 3, constant volume heat addition. So constant volume lines will come curve like this. It will be increasing slope. This is 3 point. Then again 3 to 4, isentropic expansion. So in expansion temperature will decrease. This is 4. Then again 4 to 1, constant volume heat rejection. So this is the Otto cycle plot on TS diagram. So now before going into the analysis of the Otto cycle, we will discuss some terms. First one is stroke volume. Before that, let me draw here again the PV diagram of Otto cycle. Three, 4, and I will draw one piston cylinder assembly. Project this. Okay, this is V1 and this is V2. This is outer dead center and this one is inner dead center. I have already discussed about it in the previous lecture that the distance traveled by the piston from outer dead center to inner dead center is called stroke length, and the volume covered by the piston from outer dead center to inner dead center in case of horizontal cylinder, and from bottom dead center to top dead center in case of vertical cylinder is called stroke volume. Okay, so this volume is stroke volume. This is called the clearance space. This is the cylinder head and this is the piston. So the space between the cylinder head and the piston at the position of IDC is called clearance space, and the volume occupied by the clearance space is called clearance volume, VC. Okay, so stroke volume is the volume covered for one stroke of piston okay. Similarly, it is denoted by VS. Similarly, clearance volume it is the volume taken by the clearance space, and it is denoted by VC. Okay, then the ratio of VC to VS is called clearance ratio. It is denoted by C. It is the ratio of clearance volume to stroke volume. Okay. Then another term, it's compression ratio. It is denoted by R, and it is the ratio of initial volume to the final volume in compression stroke. From 1 to 2 is the isentropic compression, so it is the ratio of volume at 1 to the ratio of volume at 2. So compression stroke is R is equal to V1 by V2. Keep in mind it's always greater than 1, so you will not get any mistake in the ratio. Okay, so V1, from here we can see like Vs is equal to V1 minus V2 and V2 is equal to Vc. So R is equal to V1 by V2, and V1 we can write Vs plus Vc. Okay, because V1 is volume from this origin to this much, and this much is Vs and this much is Vc. Vs plus Vc, and V2 again is Vc. So we can write it 1 plus Vs over Vc. So Vs over Vc is equal to R minus 1. Okay. So now we will move forward towards the analysis of the Otto cycle. Same as the Carnot cycle, we will do the analysis for all the process. Del U W and Q. So we'll start from the process 1 to 2. Process 1 to 2. Since process 1 to 2 is the reversible isentropic, and the reversible isentropic process is the adiabatic. So for adiabatic process, Q is equal to 0. Okay. And del U, because the working substance is air is ideal gas, so del U we can write Cv T2 minus T1, and work for an adiabatic process is P1 V1 minus P2 V2 over gamma minus 1. Then for process 2 to 3, we can see that the process 2 to 3 is the constant volume, so work done will be 0. Heat is being added in process 2 to 3 Qs. So delta U will be Cv T3 minus T2. And for calculating delta Q, you can apply thermodynamics first law. Q is equal to del U plus W. W is 0. Q is heat is being supplied, so Q 2 to 3 is positive. Du is equal to Cv T3 minus T2. So you can write Cv T3 minus T2. Again for process 3 to 4, it's again isentropic expansion. So reversible isentropic is adiabatic, so heat transfer will be 0. Del U will be Cv T4 minus T3, and work done will be, again for adiabatic process, work done will be P3 V3 minus P4 V4 over gamma minus 1. And process 4 to 1, Process 4 to 1 is again constant volume heat rejection, QR. So constant volume, work done will be 0. Delta U will be CV T1 minus T4. So heat supplied or heat rejection we can find out from the first law. Work done is 0. So heat is in this process, heat is being rejected, so then the sign will be negative. Q 4 to 1 is equal to delta U is CV T1 minus T4. So Q4 to 1 is equal to CV T4 minus T1. We can put here, so this one is CV T4 minus T1. Okay. Now we have completed all the process. Now the efficiency of the cycle will be again W net over heat supplied. We know that the W net is equal to heat supplied minus heat rejected divided by heat supplied. This will come 1 minus QR over QS, and we know that heat is being rejected in 4 to 1, then we can write 1 minus Q 4 to 1 divided by, and heat is being supplied in process 2 to 3, so Q 2 to 3. We know the values of Q 4 to 1, we know the values of Q 2 to 3. We can put in this equation, then the efficiency of the Otto cycle will be 1 minus Q 4 to 1 is CV T4 minus T1 over CV T3 minus T2. So CV cancel. Let us take T1 common from here. T1 will come T4 by T1 minus 1, and T2 from here, then T2 it will come T3 by T2 minus 1. That is this equation 1. Now again we'll go to the PV plot of the cycle. For the process 1 to 2, it is then reversible isentropic, so adiabatic process. So for adiabatic process, again the relationship between the volume and the temperature is T V ki power gamma minus 1 is equal to constant. So for process 1 to 2, it will be T1 V1 ki power gamma minus 1 is equal to T2 V2 ki power gamma minus 1. So it will become T2 by T1 is equal to V1 by V2 ki power gamma minus 1, and we know that V1 by V2 is equal to the compression ratio, so we can write it R ki power gamma minus 1. Okay, this is equation 2. And again for process 3 to 4, it's again reversible isentropic, so adiabatic. So T3 V3 ki power gamma minus 1 is equal to T4 V4 ki power gamma minus 1. So here from here T3 by T4 is equal to V4 by V3 ki power gamma minus 1. And from PV plot we can see the volume at 2 and 3 is same, because this 2 to 3 process is constant volume, so V2 is equal to V3. Similarly process 4 to 1 is constant volume process, so volume at 4 is equal to volume at 1. So in place of V4 I can put V1, and in place of V3 we can put V2 ki power gamma minus 1, and we know that V1 by V2 is again compression ratio R ki power gamma minus 1. This is equation 3. So from equation 2 and 3 we can conclude that T2 by T1 is equal to T3 by T4, or T4 by T1 is equal to T3 by T2. Okay, so this expression we can put in this equation. Here T4 by T1 minus 1 divided by T3 by T2 minus 1. So T4 by T1 is equal to T3 by T2. So both quantities are equal, so it will cancel out. So now the Otto efficiency of the Otto cycle will become 1 minus T1 by T2. Okay, now we know that T2 by T1 is equal to R ki power gamma minus 1. So T1 by T2 will be 1 upon R ki power gamma minus 1. So we can write 1 over R ki power gamma minus 1. So this is the efficiency of the Otto cycle. Okay. If we plot a graph between the efficiency and compression ratio, eta and R. Eta is 0 when R is equal to 1. Then it will go on increasing. Okay. Now we will define one last term related to the Otto cycle. It's mean effective pressure. In short, MEP. So mean effective pressure is an imaginary pressure such that it remains constant and give us the same work done like the work done in an actual cycle for the same change of volume like in actual cycle. Then that imaginary constant pressure is known as mean effective pressure. Means we know that throughout the cycle the pressure value of the pressure is continuously changing. Okay, so and the net change in volume is V1 minus V2, that is equal to Vs. Okay, so if we consider a pressure which is constant throughout the cycle and net change in volume is also equal to the same as the actual cycle, then that pressure, if the work output of this cycle and then imaginary pressure cycle is same, then the pressure is called mean effective pressure. So mean effective pressure means work done is equal to P mean effective pressure multiply with Vs, because we know that for an constant pressure process work done is equal to P dV, and here dV is equal to Vs because the change in volume is equal to stroke volume, so Vs. So work done will be P mean effective pressure, which is constant throughout the cycle, and Vs. So if we want to find out the mean effective pressure of a cycle, we can find out from this equation. Okay, so now we'll proceed towards a numerical problem. See the question, the thermal efficiency of an Otto cycle is 54%. So eta Otto is given 54% or is equal to 0.54. Then again, compression begins at 1 bar and 15 degrees Celsius. Maximum pressure during the cycle is 75 bar. To determine the heat added, net work done and heat rejected per kg of air. Also find out the compression ratio, mean effective pressure, and for air the value of Cv and R is given. Okay, so first of all, let us draw the PV diagram of Otto cycle. Okay, so in question it is given that compression begins at 1 bar 15 degrees Celsius. So we know that the compression starts from the state 1. So the value of P1 is given 1 bar and value of T1 is given 15 degree Celsius. So if we convert it into Kelvin, then T1 is equal to 273 plus 15 is equal to 288 Kelvin. Okay, so we have to find out the heat added, net work done, heat rejected per kg of air. So mass of the air is equal to 1 kg. Then compression ratio, mean effective pressure. So we know that the efficiency of an Otto cycle is equal to 1 minus 1 over r की power gamma minus 1. Okay, now we have to find out the value of, we know the value of the efficiency, it's 0.54. If we know the value of gamma, then we can find out the compression ratio. Okay, so for gamma we know that CV is equal to R over gamma minus 1, and for air the value of CV and R is given in the question. So we can put 0.717 is equal to 0.287 divided by gamma minus 1. So from here, if we'll calculate, the gamma is equal to 1.4. Okay, so we can put it here in this equation. 0.54 is equal to 1 minus 1 over r की power 1.4 minus 1. From here, r is equal to 6.707, and we know that r is equal to V1 by V2, and V1 by V2 is equal to Vs plus Vc over Vc's, so it's equal to 1 plus Vs over Vc. So from here we can find out that Vs is equal to 5.707 Vc. Okay, so now let us proceed one by one process. Process 1 to 2. We know the temperature at 1 is 288 Kelvin, but we don't know the temperature at 2, but we know the compression ratio. So applying the volume and temperature relationship, T1 V1 की power gamma minus 1 is equal to T2 V2 की power gamma minus 1. From here, T2 is equal to T1 V1 by V2 की power, and V1 by V2 we know is equal to R की power gamma minus 1. So when we will put the value of T1 288 Kelvin and R 6.707 and gamma is equal to 1.4, the temperature T2 value will come and is equal to 629 Kelvin. Okay, again we know the value of pressure at 1, but we don't know the value of pressure at 2. So for the same process, relation between pressure and volume will become P1 V1 की power gamma is equal to P2 V2 की power gamma. So from here, P2 will be P1 V1 by V2 की power gamma. V1 by V2 again is equal to compression ratio. So we can put R की power gamma. So P1 is given, it's equal to 1 bar, and R is given 6.707, and gamma is value 1.4. So when we will put the values, it will come 14.86 into 10 की power 5 Pascal. Okay. Now for process 2 to 3. See, in question it is given that maximum pressure during the cycle. So we can, from the PV plot, we can find out at which state the pressure is maximum. It is the state 3. So we have given the pressure value of state 3 is equal to 75 bar. Okay. Now process 2 to 3 is constant volume heat addition, which is constant volume. So when the volume is constant, pressure is directly proportional to temperature. So we can write P2 by P3 is equal to T2 by T3. P2 we have calculated already from here. P3 we know, it's given in the question, and T2 we know. From here we can calculate T3. T3 is equal to T2 P3 by P2. So value of T3 will come 3173.5 Kelvin. Okay. So if you want to find out the heat added, so Q supplied or added is equal to Q223, and it will be equal to, same as we have discussed in like 2 to 3, it will be equal to CV T3 minus T2. Okay. CV T3 minus T2. We know the value of CV is equal to 717. T3 is 3173.5. T2 is equal to 629. Okay. From here we can find out the value of QS. It's 1806.599 kilojoule per kg of air. Okay. Then again, for process 3 to 4, it's reversible isentropic expansion, and we know from our previous calculation that T2 by T1 is equal to T3 by T4. So we can write T2 by T1 is equal to T3 by T4. So from here T1 we know, T2 we know, T3 we know, we can calculate T4. So T4 is equal to T3 T1 by T2. So T4 will come 1453.049 Kelvin. So from here we can find out the heat rejected. Which is QR, and which is equal to Q421. Okay. Q421, we have already calculated. Q421 is equal to CV T4 minus T1. CV T4 minus T1. Okay. CV is equal to 0.717. T4 is 1453.049 minus 288. So it will come 827.184 kilojoule per kg of air. See, I would like to ask one question. Here the heat is being rejected, but it's still we are getting the magnitude in positive numbers. Why is that? Please pause that video and think about it. So let me answer that. Here the heat is being rejected, still we are getting the magnitude in positive sign because we have already considered the signature or negative sign in the analysis. So if we have not considered here it is negative, then it will surely come negative 827, because then it will become T1 minus T4. But as we have already considered the sign in negative in the analysis itself, so it will now come as positive. Okay, so now work done. So we know the work done is equal to Q supplied minus Q rejected. So both the Q supplied and Q rejected we know. So work done will be equal to 979.414 kilojoule per kg. Then last we have calculated all the parameters, I think. Heat added, net work done, heat rejected, compression ratio, and last the mean effective pressure is remaining. So we, as we described, mean effective pressure is equal to work done is equal to mean effective pressure into stroke volume. So mean effective pressure will equal to work done divided by stroke volume. So PMEP is equal to work done divided by Vs. Okay, but Vs is equal to V1 minus V2. Okay, so at point 2 we know the pressure, we know the temperature, so we can find out the value of volume. So from ideal gas equation, P2 V2 is equal to mR T2. Okay, and R will be here for air. So from here V2 is equal to mR air T2 by P2. M is 1, R 0.287, since it's in kilojoule, then 10 की power 3 joule per kg Kelvin. T2 is equal to, we have calculated T2 here, 629 Kelvin divided by P2. P2 is equal to, again we have calculated 14.86 into 10 to the power 5 Pascal. 14.86 into 10 to the power 5 Pascal. So from here, the value of V is equal to 12.27 into 10 to the power minus 2 meter cube. Okay, so we know the V2. And we have already established one relationship. Vs is equal to 5.707 Vc. Vs is equal to 5.707 Vc. Okay, so we can put, we know that V2 is equal to Vc. We have already discussed that value of volume, magnitude of volume at state 2 is equal to clearance volume. So V2 is equal to Vc, so we can put 5.707 into V2, and value of V2 we know, we have calculated. So Vs is equal to, it will come 0.7 meter cube. So we can find out here mean effective pressure is equal to work done divided by Vs. Work done we have calculated, it is 979.414. Vs is 0.7, so it will come 1398 kilo Pascal or 13.98 bar. So we have calculated all the parameters of the questions. So that's it for the today's lecture. Okay, have a nice day.